Hi guys, welcome back to the shop. Hey, today we're going to get back on the 250 Enduro Yamaha cylinder, finish up the hone and do the chamfering and get it ready to go back to jack. Let me get you overhead here and I'll show you where we're at and where we're going. Okay, first thing we need to do here is just make sure we get a starting point, and that's with our piston. And on these Yamaha cutaway pistons, Yamaha gives a formula for doing these. You basically measure them right here, but most of the time, from what I'm seeing, there is no AA measurement, and that's what you're supposed to use in conjunction with the micrometer measurement that you get here. And we're measuring it right here at the cutaway, the bottom of the cutaway, or top of the cutaway, however you want to look at it. And so Wiseco doesn't give any other instructions on that, none that I can find. So we're just going with that. And as of right now, I've got 2.7733. So what I do is I go over and I plug that reading into my dial bore gauge. So let me go over there and I've showed this before, but I'll go ahead and show you again. I've got new viewers, I guess, that haven't been seeing that. Okay, this is the Sunnen setting fixture for setting your dial bore gauge. And you just, whatever reading we just got, which was the piston reading, we come over and we stick that into this. And for this particular one, we're going to use this mandrel for setting it up. You've got different length ones here, but this is the appropriate one for this, for the 2-inch. And then we just put in our whatever is in addition to that out here on the micrometer part, and then we just zero out our dial bore gauge right there. So that's how we do it, and it's actually pretty simple. And before you do any of this stuff, you have a setting fixture. Let's see if I can get that out of here real quick. This is how you calibrate it, and it's they tell you which pins to use, and you just go ahead and take the measurement in there, and then you set it here. You zero out the micrometer part, and then you're just right on. So that's how you get set up. Once you've got it calibrated, you don't have to do that every time. You just do that when you suspect you have a problem, or maybe it's some interval. But once you get it set up, as long as you don't drop it or beat it up or something, you're good. So you just go ahead, you can rely on that. I rely on it every day. Okay, so where are we right now? We've got the piston size into our dial bore gauge, and we'll just stick it in here and get a reading. Okay, the plus side of this is bigger than, the minus side of course is less than. So right now we're at about a half thousandths smaller than the piston. Just depends on what. This is pretty rough. This is still the boring. Once we start honing, it'll smooth this up. But as of right now, we're 4 to 5 10 thousandths smaller than the piston. So you can see that the piston's not going to go in. So let's get over to the Sunnen honing machine and we'll work on this and try to get that piston in there. Okay, another thing I just want to point out here is Wiseco always gives you your clearance right here, and on this one they're actually calling for 2/1000ths, and normally on these Wiseco you're looking at more like 3. I'm not sure why on this one they're going less, but we're going to do what they say to do. Okay, the first thing we do before we start any honing is we true up our stones to make sure everything is nice and flat. Get some oil on them here. I got my truing sleeve out. We'll get a little oil in it, size it up. It's just now starting to get that crosshatch look in there. So I just want to keep up with it here because it happens pretty fast. Okay, we're almost at where the piston should fit in almost. So we'll turn this around and go at it the other way a little bit. Okay, give another peek here. So we're at about 6/10,000ths. This is clearance side now. 6/10,000ths. Piston ought to fit now. At least go in there. Oh yeah. Okay, so we've got about 1,500 yet to go. Okay, we're at about 1/1000th there. Creeping up on it. Same thing. Good straight bore. Right at 2. Right at 2. So we're going to call that good. Okay guys, let's take a look at this. About 2 1/10,000ths. And 2 1/10,000ths. That should do good. I feel a little bit better with it being a little bit over. Usually these Wiseco pistons are at 3. Let me get you down here a little bit further. Okay. Let's, I've got to do the chamfering and I need to check the rings. So let's go ahead and do the rings. Okay, that's a little tight. Should be 4/1000ths per inch of cylinder bore. That's what Wiseco tells us. So that would, 3 inches would be 12. So I'm going with about 11. And it's a little tight. So I'll be filing those. But before I get into that, I'm going to go ahead and do my chamfering. They feel sharp. They are. They need to be worked on. And you only need to do the horizontal otherwise the top and the bottom of them, the sides, you don't have to worry about. Okay, once you get through with your top and bottom, go in there and take care of your I'm using little diamond wheels here. That way you don't get much hop. And you want to take care of a little on top here. And we'll give the top a little truing up, just to make sure everything's the way it should be. Okay, let me keep after it. Okay. File these rings and see what we got here now. Okay, we just need a little more. Use my ring filer here. Okay, it's a good tight 11. Once you grind those, get them where you want them, then you need to come back with, I use a hard Arkansas stone and check all the, kind of chamfer the edges so you don't scratch up the cylinder. Kind of a tedious job, but if you grind them, you need to, or if you trim those ends, you need to do something with them to keep them from scratching. I'm not sure whether you can tell where I ground there or not. Got the one done. Doesn't take very much. Just a little more. So I'm going to throw the rings and the piston and the cylinder into the ultrasonic cleaner, and we'll give it a good clean, blow it off, put a little oil in the bore, and we'll get it packed up and ready to go back. Okay guys, there you have it. We got the 250 Enduro Yamaha bored and honed and piston fitted, and the rings also filed and fitted, and it's ready to go home. So I'm going to get this cleaned up and off it'll go. So hey, thanks for going along on the ride, and we'll see you next video.